Hey guys, I'm back here to continue the WOW Sound installation here in the Broadway Limited I1. So, in the last video, my last update I guess, I showed you I had rewired the board for the plug between the locomotive and tender, and then that was pretty much it. I just got disassembled, took all the old stuff out, and labeled everything to get it ready for the WOW Sound to go in. And today the WOW Sound came, so here we got the 1517 WOW KA for the Keep Alive right there. And then also what I've done since the last video is I'm going to add a light, if you can see this. I'm going to add a light in the doghouse back here in the tender, if the camera will focus. So I'm going to put a light in the doghouse back there in the back. I'm going to add a cab light in the cab, and then that'll be about it. So I'll stop this and I'll make a clip. I'll take the tender shell off and the locomotive shell off so I can show you, and then I'll get started. Here I'll show you what I have. So here's the tender shell, and I have the speaker wires over here, and then the two track pickup wires right there. So that's that. And then as far as lights go, inside I've already placed an LED up in the doghouse. I just drilled a hole in the bottom here inside the tender. You can see it's under that electrical tape right there. So here's the wires for the, let me show you guys. These are the wires for the doghouse light, and then the headlight, or the rear light wires, are these over here. So I have those two wires for the doghouse light and the rear light. And then in the locomotive here, I have, you saw I ran my white and blue wires up to the front, right here. And then I have a resistor on them, and then branching off, one goes to the headlight. I already have the headlight wired, as you can see. And then you'll notice I have these other two wires right here, and these I'm going to run back, along here back to the cab, and I'll put this surface mount LED, if it'll focus. I'll put the surface mount LED there. I'll put that up in the cab. So I guess the next thing is I'll get started with I think I'll do the light first in the cab, and then we'll move on from there. I've actually, you can see, I put the locomotive back together, and I got the cab light installed. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Let me bring it over closer to the light. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it, but I took that surface mount LED, and I took some of this black styrene plastic I have over here, the sheet plastic. I cut a little square, and I glued the surface mount LED to that with some super glue, and then I glued that up on the roof of the cab. So, yeah, that's how I installed the surface mount LED in there. And then once I got that in, I just soldered it into the leads I showed you that I had running up to the front, and I taped it to the inside to the roof so it's out of the way, and I just screwed this back together. So right now all the lights are installed in the locomotive, and that's all done. So I'll just set that aside, and next all we have to do is wire up the plug, and then wire up the tender and the lights inside it. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that now, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I've jumped ahead a little bit here. As you can see, it's complete. The installation's all done. So it's still in its stock format, but I have all the lights hooked up. You can see there's the headlight, the cab lights in there, and as you can see it, it's easier to see in person, I would say. But the cab light is hooked up. That's lit up, and then the doghouse light. And now with the doghouse light, you'll notice it's super bright. And I used one of these LEDs that I had bought, and it's a flashing circuit LED. And the guy told me if I cut that off, it won't flash, which it doesn't, as you can see. But I had a 1,000 ohm quarter-watt resistor on it, and I don't know what it was, but it blinked when I had that hooked up to it. So I took the resistor out of it, and now it's solid, but it's also pretty bright. So I guess it's okay, but yeah, that's what it is. So that works, and then here, let me reverse it. And then there's the rear light. You can see the other lights go out. So now I'll show it running. We'll go in reverse here. So I still have to do the programming on it to set it up, but pretty much this is it. So here it goes again. Yeah, the tender truck derailed there, but got it back on. So yeah, there it is. I still gotta clean the wheels, but yep. So I guess in the next clip I'll get it programmed and then clean the wheels and show you guys the final product. Alright guys, I got it all set up now and programmed and everything to how I want it. So I guess I'll just show you it. I have it MU'd to my M1 here, because I'll show you a little double heading in a second, but you know, we mute the M1. And so now you guys can just hear the I1. So I set it up with the bell I wanted, and the whistle. And then I got the volume set pretty much where I want them. So you can see there's the headlight, and then we have the cab light, and then I just I shut the doghouse light off because I think it was too bright. It was kind of weird because with the resistor it would like blink at a pretty slow rate. I don't know why, but and then without the resistor it was kind of bright. So yeah, I just kind of took the doghouse light out, which isn't a big deal. It just kind of lit up the windows anyway. So I still have the cab light and headlight and rear light, so that's good enough. So yeah, I got it set up, and I guess we'll just show a run by here, double heading. I spent what I did just now while I have it MU'd to the M1 is because I was speed matching it. Because what I did not too long ago was I speed matched all my Pennsylvania locomotives to each other. So if I want to, I can MU any of my Pennsylvania locomotives together and run them. So all my steam locomotives, all my diesel locomotives are all speed matched to each other. So I can run like my F unit set with an M1, with the M1 or the I1, or I can run the K4 with the M1 or Trainmaster with the F3s. I can do whatever I want and make any combination. So I have them all set to a standard speed, and they're all speed matched together. So I was just doing that with this now. So that now the I1 is speed matched to all of them because I just speed matched it to the M1. So let me unmute it there. So right now I have them consisted, and I'll show you them running. So I'll wait a second till the safety finishes so you can hear it better, but okay, here we go. Okay, come out of the tunnel back there. So I guess you guys can tell they're speed matched pretty well. I just use CVs 2, 5, and 6, you know, to set the start, mid, and top voltage, and that seems to work pretty well. The K4 and Trainmaster are my only locomotives that have tsunamis in them, and they don't respond to the 2, 5, and 6 CVs, so they're a bit more tricky to speed match, but I figured it out. So here we go. I have them all speed matched together, and here's the M1 and I1 running together, just as a little demonstration. And you can see the cab light. So I'll stop them in the back, and then I guess that'll be it. So hope you enjoyed the video. I set the momentum and all so that it's the same for all of them. So you'll see when they coast to a stop, they'll stop at the same time. So you can see there the whistle signal for stop sounded at pretty much the same time. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.